Let's get this madness rolling.
Hello, YouTube. So, you just got a sneak peek there, but today is Thanksgiving. This wonderful feast here looks delicious. You see, I have chicken, we have whatever the stew is, pumpkin pie, cake, and some delicious pork and chicken and cookies. Oh, and some special apples. Those shall be delicious. Quite nice seating arrangements, I must say, and quite a beautiful build here. There's actually a story behind this setup, actually a wonderful Thanksgiving story, I must say. Quite fitting for this time of year, so let me tell you how this little design came to be, or how it ended up in the overworld. It's quite an interesting story, I must say. It's actually during the time of Thanksgiving. I mean, it is a Thanksgiving story. So, it all started in the Nether, of course, because where else would these building materials come from, mostly? Only a few rare pieces here and there do not belong to the Nether. But anyway, let's get back to the main point. It all started when the Zoblins were wondering about using their usual gold-grabbing ways, getting their gold, and staying in their fortress as usual, all scurrying about. You had the men popping in and out. Let's not forget the weather skeletons that guard the fortress, the ghasts that floating around, and so forth. The usual time of odds and ends of events. But then, well, something odd happened. Zoblin got hungry for a meal, and decided to go and get something to eat in this little base with all his other ponglins, piglins. I apologize. I always mix up their names, do I not? The Zoblins, no. They do not live in the fortress. The piglins, who are not into zombies, they do live in the fortress, and the one got hungry and decided to cook something to eat. But when he tried to find something to eat, something odd happened. There was nothing in the freezer, or what would we consider the freezer for this wonderful world, it would not. Anyway, he went off trying to find food, and searched and searched and searched. There was none around the base. But then he heard some rumors as he's searching for his food that apparently in this overworld, apparently that they hear about, through a mysterious portal that can come to be, there's this feast that people have once a year that's so fantastic, it's a dream, a fantasy. Curious by the story of a humongous feast, and starving for food, the young hung piglin decided to wander off to find this mysterious portal for some food, and maybe find out about this once-a-year feast a bit more. As he explored and explored, Lord gathering resources, finding minor things to keep his hunger in check, but he wanted something good, delicious, and satisfying. And so, as he traveled along, he ran into some odds and ends, ran into some wither skeletons, and so forth, until he found it. The portal. And with all his resources that he had gathered, trying to get there, he carried them along as he went through it. As fortunate it was activated, it seemed like. And he wandered up here, the overworld. He heard stories of this place, but it was real. Usually people who end up here usually end up dead, though, according to his story. So he was cautious and carefully went to the shadows of the forest when he could get there. Fortunately, it was in a location it seemed like it was in the middle of the forest, a house. But since no one was there, so when he went off into the forest, it was very easy to get away from the house, far away. But he had to break down the door, of course. Which then he heard some strange sounds behind him as he eventually was slowly, like, miles away from it. He saw these odd people with, well, odd creatures is more proper term. They had green skin and odd clothing choices. They groaned and walked towards him. He realized what they were and dealt with them. And then, with his resources and recent gathering of foods, like killing off these strange odds and animals, he went and took care of them. And then eventually he went and used his resources to build this to set himself up a feast. And the feast he made. When the wonderful feast came to be, he was excited. He was finally going to get something to eat, an actual proper meal. And then something odd happened. And the men came to be. Sat on a chair that he made beside him. The piglin was raising his eyes questionably, and the Enderman put down a strange glowing apple onto the table, or a bowl of them. He questioned it, but shrugged it off, like, eh. And then more and more came. More creatures. Witches. Villagers. Even some undead came along, putting on food on the table. And it was like, what in the world's going on here? I realized it. It was the day of Thanksgiving and the sun rising. Where all the mobs, it seems like, wanted to come together. It seems like even they wanted to enjoy a nice, wonderful feast. So they brought something in return in order to join the feast. He did not mind, and so the people of all these different mob types, undead or not, enjoyed the feast. And it was a wonderful feast indeed. And so, here's how Thanksgiving in Minecraft works. All the mobs come together before this beautiful build that happened so long ago. Because that was a long time ago when this happened, and now every Thanksgiving, Minecraft mobs come together on this wonderful build of the old piglin who just wanted a meal. And they use this to celebrate Thanksgiving. Undead or not. And so, all of them gather around. Every single mob. Even the gas come every now and then. The Ender Dragon, unfortunately, cannot come. And the river is like not usually invited. But other than that, everyone else comes. Even the Guardians come flopping on in for some fine dining. And that's the wonderful thing about Thanksgiving. It can bring even the oddest of people together for a wonderful meal and a wonderful time, night or day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's story and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.